Hey, what's up, everybody? You are now tuned into
And
and it's your girl Jazzy J,
my D,
and we in the building, y'all.
we have a follow up video to the video that we done before about the young black girl who is with the adopted family at Costco who is treating her raggedy. Somebody has a video, a whole interview with the person who witnessed it. So go to that channel and you can watch the whole video.
Yeah, we're gonna play a part of that video. Thank you to Angelica Mendez. You're a hero, and we appreciate what you're doing. We're also gonna have the number on here to be able to call social services for this little girl as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is also posted on here. So y'all check out this video. We're only gonna play a section of it. We're only gonna play 10 minutes, and then we will have it linked in the description box. We encourage you to go watch the full video and get this out and share
The
this.
full video is close to an hour. It's like 45 minutes for the full
And
video.
everything that she
And
saw, yeah.
yeah, so you can actually, and the number is there to make the phone calls. So you can see from the first person who's seen everything and actually brought this to everybody's attention.
Exactly. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to
And
and we out, y'all. Peace.
That, guys, we have some serious news to talk about because we need to see. I feel like we all need to rally together and stand up for this girl if what is being said is true. And from what I'm reading, guys, and from what I see, I believe it is. So I'm gonna call her now, and we're gonna actually talk to Miss Angelica Mendez. So, 1 second. Hello. Can you hear me? Yes, I can. Hi, Angelica. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. That's okay. Yes, I don't know what's going on with my internet, but I think I got it good now. So, we're gonna get right into this. But like I said, our listeners are really excited to hear from you. We've posted about it on our page a few times, but I definitely want to hear directly from the horse's mouth. So, I appreciate you for taking this interview. Of course, of course. So, okay. So I've been seeing this story everywhere. Before we actually decided to do some research and, talk about it, I was reading about it on other blogs. I've seen it on certain news stations, but I want to speak to you directly. And I want to ask you first off, a lot of people are wondering, where did this actually take place? It took place at Costco in Palm Desert off the Dinosaur in Monterey in the state of California in Coachella Valley. Okay, so you were just at Costco's with your child just shopping regularly, and that's when you saw the young girl with her adopted family? Yeah, we were actually out celebrating the fact that I fought for a year of child custody, and I had just won the day before. So I wanted to celebrate with my girls and take them out. And my girls love the hot dogs there from Costco, and I like the pizza there. Yeah, the pizza is really good. I thought I was the only one who loved the pizza. Yeah, it's literally what we went there for, just to eat and then go to the Palm Desert Park and take them to go get wet. But none of that played out the way I planned it because of, what I had seen occurred. I just started crying after everything happened. So that's what I want to ask you. So I'm going to let you start from the beginning to up until when you contacted the authorities. So what exactly did you see and what did she say to you to prompt you to feel like you needed to contact the authorities? So what happened was I was settling with my children. After we placed our order, they gave us our hot dogs right there and then with our drinks. I settled my kids down with my mom. I went to go get their drinks, came back, sat down. There was a man on the bench next to us. He was eating by himself. And then my mom told me as I sat down, because I was the only one not eating a hot dog, she told me, why don't you go check on the pizza? I went and go check on the pizza. It was done. I came back. As I came back, the man who was sitting next to us was now standing. And I'm guessing he gave his spot for the family who was sitting there so they can sit down and eat, because it's a family versus a man. So I'm sure he felt like, okay, I'll just give you my spot. Right. So, which was generous of him. And something took me by surprise. It wasn't the girl. I didn't notice her until I noticed him staring at the family. To me, I judged him based off a cover, which I should never done. I should have never looked at him wrong. I was just like wondering, why is this man just looking at the family, holding his hot dog, not even eating, just staring, just literally staring.
And nowadays, you just have pedophiles everywhere, so that's why I went wrong in judging him.
Right.
I was what he was looking at, so I looked over to the table next to me where he was sitting, where the family's now sitting, and I noticed that everyone's eating, everyone's having a good time, they're all having a good conversation, and I noticed the child, I didn't know she was adopted until they told me. She was in the right corner, just looking at the little girl that's next to her, be happy, take a bite, and just, be happy again, and start giggling, And I noticed that she asked the father if she can have something to eat, and he's like, no, you're sick, you're not allowed to eat.
Right.
And I was like, what the hell? That's what caught my attention. So for everyone who wants to know, that's what caught my attention.
So before you continue, let me make that very clear to everyone. It wasn't like she was just, looking for a problem, guys. Like I've seen in some comments, some people were trying to basically say you were being nosy or inserting yourself.
No, I was literally judging the other man just by looking. So I was like, I'm gonna look too, because I was like, this pedophile nowadays, you just don't know what he's doing. So I judged him, but then I felt guilty for even doing that because then I'm realizing what he's looking at, and that's when I was like, that's not okay.
Right. So the look that so let me rewind it a bit. So basically you overheard her adopted father tell her that she was not going to get anything to eat because she was allegedly sick.
Yes.
And that's what prompted you to insert yourself into the situation because you're watching everybody else at the table eat. And she looks like something is basically wrong with her. And then you overheard what he said and it made you feel like, you needed to see what was going on.
Yeah, that's where because I was raised by one dad, and my dad always was against things like that.
Right.
He'd always tell us, "Watch something be wrong, you speak up," because there's people that can't be a voice for themselves. So this was something I would see on TV as well. You wouldn't think you would run into it. It wasn't something I was trying to just harass them and just come and attack them. It was nothing like that. It was something that I saw and I heard. So it got my attention, and that's when I stood by my shopping cart. And I waited to, see if they were going to offer her anything. Before even going and embarrassing myself, call it a seat, I wanted to see if they were going to offer anything. And so I seen, maybe 2, 3, 4 more seconds in, I just did a stand for it. I walked into the family and I said, hey, are you guys just going to feed yourselves and neglect her? Or are you guys going to offer her something to eat? And the father said, well, she's sick. She isn't allowed to eat. And what did he say? He goes, she's an auntie. So, and he told me to mind my business, and I told him, I was like, no, that doesn't sick. If she's sick, I told him if she's sick, well, then she's supposed to eat.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be protein, vitamin, iron going on here. And if she's so sick, she should have a glass of water, something to hydrate her to get her going.
Right.
There's no, we're not going to feed her because she's sick. That doesn't sit right. So I asked her myself, hey, baby, are you hungry? I was like, and if so, would you like to come to my table and eat with me? And she told me no. She said no. And I didn't stand for it because she started crying, right? Like crying. And she started crying. And tears coming out of her face. And she's covering it. She's holding her tummy. And she's, hiding her tears with one hand, trying to wipe them quick as she can, but they're coming down so quick. Something was wrong.
So to let me ask you this question, because you're saying she was crying, she was holding her tummy. Clearly, from what you've seen, she looked like she was going through it, basically, and that's what. Right, it was all in her facial expressions. So from right. Yes. So from what you were saying, her body language showed you that she was going through it. And from what you've seen, it looked like she possibly could have been hungry and, she wanted to eat like her adopted siblings.
Yes, exactly. She did. I heard it. She wanted food. And that's why I was like, okay, so I'm just going to come and act like I didn't care that. I'm just going to come and see if, hey, are you guys going to feed her? Because I've seen that it's wrong that she's not eating. I didn't want to make it look like I'm being like a weirdo and just watching it. So I told them, I noticed from the corner of my eye that you guys are out eating. And she's not. So it's like, You know, there's a sit right between. Because I'm not going to, if one of my children were sick and they're saying that they're not feeling well, I'm not going to, expose them with no mask first and foremost. Wouldn't even bring them out, you know? They're going to be at home with their daddy, you know, being well taken care of. And that's just one thing. Two, if I were to bring them out and they were sick, they wouldn't be exposed without a mask. Second, third, I wouldn't just not get them food because they're sick. No, I'm going to make my kid eat because they're sick.
So I want to clarify this because what you just said really just struck me. If she was allegedly sick, like you said, if your child was sick, you're going to make sure that no one around them could possibly get sick either, no matter if it's the coronavirus, anything that she possibly could have, you're going to make sure your child is safe. And especially with what's going on in the world right now, if your child was allegedly sick, you should have a mask on your child. So you saying that definitely struck out to me because it just makes it a little suspicious. If she's sick and you know the coronavirus is going on right now, why would she not have on a mask?
Exactly. Why be exposed? Like, you know, like, because then you're just part of everyone else who just walks around with no mask and, you know, expose it. Like, it's like, that's what we're trying to prevent. And if they were caring adoptive parents, they wouldn't, you know, have her like that. And I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything, but what also stood out to me, you know, of my judgment, was the way she was dressed.
Yes.
The way she was dressed, I'm not going to sit here and BS anyone.
Right.
It stood out to me. It brought back slavery in my mind and in my heart, because my dad used to have us watch things like that and teach us to always love one another, regardless by color. So that to me stood out a lot. The way she was dressed different.
What stood out to me and what I thought was a bit interesting was a lot of people agreed with you in the comments from things I was reading, saying that it looked like